when you live here, you have got that kind of life where you can go out and enjoy it. Number 12, I was ready to ditch the winter costs and heating bills. So this is a major factor, not particularly why I came to Thailand, but why I left the UK and decided to live in Southeast Asia. My heating bill for my house in the UK, I had a 4-bedroom house. It was ridiculous. I think I was paying the equivalent to about, when it was very, very cold, the equivalent to about 12,000 baht a month, £300, 350 US dollars. What's that? 700 Australian dollars. I just don't have that here. I live in a nice 51 square meter apartment. I've got an air conditioner in the lounge, an air conditioner in the bedroom. The air conditioner's on all night and sometimes in the evening in the lounge. And I'm paying about just under 2,000 baht a month in electricity. There's no gas. My water's about 100 baht a month. So it's very, very economical, which means it puts more money in my pocket. So number 13 on my list, I'd like to talk a little bit about the nightlife. Now, I'm 65, okay? I'll be 66 next year. I'm getting to be real old. I first came out here when I was about 36, 37, back and forth, And but in the UK, there's nothing to do for an older guy of my age. Now, I'm sure I'll get comments from guys saying they join clubs and they do various things. When I say nothing, for myself personally, I don't particularly would want to go out and sit in a pub in the UK or go to the cinema by myself. There's a lot more to do here. When you go out in the evening, it's possible to go and, to go out to places on your own and have a good time. And without getting into all the details here, even if you went to a bar, the chances are there's more people who are going to be more friendly. You can strike up a conversation. I remember years ago, it's probably now about 28 years ago, my best friend who is now dead, a guy called Sam, I actually met him in a bar one afternoon. I was coming back from Pantit Plaza, never knew him, never met him in my life. We struck up a conversation, and for the next kind of 10 years we were good friends. We'd go out 3-4 nights a week, and it's possible to do that here. It isn't always possible in the West. People aren't as forthcoming. They're very, very suspicious. Number 14, I feel safer walking around Bangkok at 3 o'clock in the morning. Not that I'm out at 3 o'clock in the morning anymore, but if I were, I feel safer in Bangkok at 3 o'clock in the morning than I do in the UK at 3 in the afternoon. It's very, very safe here. I would feel intimidated if I walked through my local town centre and there were a gang of youths and I had to walk past them, hoodies, the sort of guys I'm talking about. I would want to get out of that situation as quickly as possible. I don't have that feeling here. Of course, in a country like Thailand, there are scams that go on. You get in a taxi, they don't want to put on a meter. Tuk-tuk driver wants to take you to his friend's tailor shop or his fake gem shop. That sort of thing goes on. But generally speaking, as a foreigner, of course, there is crime here in Thailand, but we don't get to see much of it. It's very, very safe. I've never come across a situation where I've been very, very worried about my safety here in Thailand. And that's not always the case in many countries around Southeast Asia, especially. Some of them are quite dangerous. I won't name names, but Thailand is very, very safe. Number 15, the expat community feels like a tribe. Okay, that might be a strange way to say it, but again, if I was to walk into a pub in the UK and there were a bunch of guys at the bar, it would be hard for me to break into conversation with them for reasons I've already given. But here in Thailand, there's been many, many times I've sat in a bar, perfect strangers sitting one stool away. We strike up a conversation. We're both on the same page because we're visiting Thailand. Same when I used to go through the airport at Heathrow. Guy would sit on a table because there wasn't too many seating. I was in the bar in Heathrow and, the guy would ask me, where you off to? Or I'd ask him, where is he off to? As soon as we both knew we were both going to Thailand, that was it then. We'd get into full conversation. And it is a lot easier to make friends here. If you're one of those people who, in your own country, you don't have a lot of friends and you'd like to expand your social group, it's a lot easier. There's certain clubs here and expat communities. It's all on the internet now. That's what's fantastic about these days. You can look on the internet, Facebook. They have many expat clubs, and you'll get the guys say, well, I haven't come here to hang out with expats. But unless you speak perfect Thai or let's say very good Thai, you're going to have a hard time if you don't want to hang out with expats. Number 16, this is for me personally. I needed a fresh start. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I was married for 33 years to a lady from Korea. I had two daughters. One's now 27, the other one's 24. I still get on very well with them. They've been here to visit me. The relationship I had with my wife was deteriorating rather, and we did actually settle on good terms, and I had a decision to make. Do I stay in England by myself? Just splitting up from a family after so many years is very, very difficult. You're suddenly on your own, you know, you're in an apartment and it's silent when you come home. You know, it was very, very hard to adjust. I didn't want to do that adjustment in the UK. It would have been a lot harder. So for me personally, that break and living by myself was a lot easier to do living out here in Thailand. I adjusted much more quicker, and of course I made friends quicker because of my YouTube channel. I met a lot of viewers who also become, some of them are very, very good friends now. They know who they are, but yeah, a fresh start. Number 17, I wanted to live somewhere that still had a bit of soul in it. Again, that might sound a bit of a cliche, but you know, the market town I lived in back home, it was getting run down. The only the shops in the high street, pound shops and charity shops and bingo parlours were the only kind of shops that were doing well. You know, it just felt like run down. It had seen its best days. It didn't look like it had a lot going for it. You know, it was going that way instead of that way. And here in Thailand, I just feel, you know, the Thais are really moving forward fast. It's becoming a real, it's almost Western now in parts of Thailand, you know, especially Bangkok. You go into the rural areas, of course, it's still behind and everything. But there's a whole feeling of, it's really going forward rather than backwards, and I like that. It's very, very positive. 18, I got tired of the negativity back home, and these are, you know, whoever you met on the street or at your workplace or wherever you were, it was always negative. You know, they had a right to complain, but I was just sick of hearing it. You know, talking about the government, talking about the cost of living, talking about the cost of fuel. You know, talking of fuel, for instance, here, you know, I've got a car here. To fill it up, it's 1,500 baht. Petrol. Okay, that works out about £33, $36, something like that. In the UK, 3 years ago, that would have, same car, £70. People were always moaning and it was always negative and it gets you down. You don't get that so much here because when people come out to Thailand, they're in a much better frame of mind, and that rubs off on you and it makes you feel better as well. Number 19, we're nearly there now. Every day feels like I'm still traveling. So although I've been here for 3 years, I still feel like I'm on an adventure. You know, it hasn't gone sour, as it were. 3 years is a long time, but I still feel I've got a lot to do, a lot of places to visit, and I still really enjoy it. And number 20, my final win is I just simply feel happier here. Everything about living in Thailand has made my life happier. Now, Thailand might not be for you. You might prefer the Philippines or something like that, but the whole point of this video is to just plant a seed in your head. If you're in the West and you're unhappy, your marriage isn't going well, it isn't that difficult to relocate to another country like Thailand. It might seem a huge move, and it is in a way, but things like everything can be overcome. So, you know, you might be thinking about the visa. There's people who can help you with long-term visas here. You might be thinking about, oh, what should I bring, what don't I bring? You know, you'll work that out. You can watch other YouTube videos. Accommodation, you can find accommodation here. The only thing I would say is make sure you have enough money to fund your lifestyle out here. I've seen too many guys move out here with not enough money. They're living on a pension, something like that. They've been watching silly videos about how cheap it is in Thailand. You can live on £600 a month, which you can exist on £600 a month, or live up in Isan with your Thai girlfriend and eat rice every day. But for the sort of lifestyle that most expats want when they come to Thailand, you need at least 50,000 baht a month. Now, I'm going to get a lot of comments from guys saying, oh, I live here, or I eat 3 times a day and I live on 20,000 baht a month. Okay, that's fine. I'm not saying it's impossible. But what I'm saying, again, the kind of lifestyle most expats want out here, between 50 and 70,000. I think I'm spending about 60, 70,000 a month. I could pull back on that, but I don't need to at the moment. Right, and just to round off the video, is there anything negative, anything I don't like about being here in Thailand? There's some small things that irritate me. My pet hate are those vans that sell vegetables. They've got speakers on the front of them, and they go up and down the sois, and they park for a while. And these speakers are really, really loud. And if you're in your apartment, you're working on your PC, or you're on the street talking to someone, and one of these vans comes by. I've been in hotels at 9 o'clock in the morning where they've parked outside the hotel. You know, it's crazy. I'm surprised the hotel managers doesn't have a word with them. But that's one of my pet hates. The pavements, the sidewalks, you know, sometimes they can be difficult to navigate. I'd hate to be a mother with a pram or somebody in a wheelchair, especially in Bangkok, because, you know, they put stalls everywhere. Some of them are not registered. They're just set up at night. A lot of the pavements are cracked and things like that. But part of the charm of Thailand is not everything works all the time. If everything worked and everything was perfect, I might as well be back in my own country, right? And as I say, that's part of the charm. Part of the charm of living here in Thailand. Okay, that's all I wanted to say today. So again, if you are thinking about it, I wouldn't worry about it too much. It can be done, and you too might be living a much better life if you're not happy where you are right now.